Very heavy rain has been coming down in parts of our area. I'll tell you when that rain ends and what to expect for tomorrow coming up shortly.
Businesses left with damage last night as protesters hit the streets in Charlotte. The violence would strike here. I looked into how you can protect your property and your rights as a business owner.
Hackers targeting our presidential candidates.
How computer experts are protecting them and why it's a major topic on the campaign trail.
This is ABC 15 News at 11.
Tonight, hundreds of protesters again taking to the streets of Charlotte, North Carolina. This is a live look right now. In the last half hour or so, some of these protesters had moved onto I-277 near the Bank of America Stadium. They had blocked traffic there on the interstate, but officers in riot gear went onto the interstate and deployed tear gas to clear them from the roadway.
The mayor has ordered a curfew that goes into effect at midnight and goes until 6 a.m. We will have much more on the demonstrations in Charlotte tonight.
But first, we have lots of rain, thunder, and lightning in the area now. This is video from Conway within the last hour or so.
Our first warning weather team is tracking the storms tonight, so let's find out from Chief Meteorologist Ed Piotrowski where they are right now and where they're headed.
All right, Tim, let's go ahead and take a look at live Doppler 15,000, show you that most of the heavy rain is situated right over Horry County right now. And overall, the trend is for these to slowly weaken, and that's what's been happening over the last hour. But the rain is still very heavy from near Carolina Forest and near Forest Brook all the way back toward Conway, Red Hill. The CCU campus getting very heavy rainfall as well. And as you head out of town through Conway and back toward Mary, still some moderate to heavy rainfall here as well. But overall, this area is shrinking, and I think over the next hour or two, a lot of this rain is going to fall apart. On the north end of the Strand, we have just some light to occasionally moderate rainfall. The rain has ended, at least temporarily, in downtown North Myrtle Beach and also in the city of Myrtle Beach. Meanwhile, across the PD and on the border belt, not much rain at all. Pockets of moderate rainfall right there near I-95 in Robeson County from near Lumberton down toward Fairmont. That is headed to the west. And areas that were particularly hard hit during the course of the day, Pawleys Island, Debadeau, up toward Murrells Inlet in Garden City had some very, very heavy rainfall. Right now, you are rain free. But check out the rainfall totals since midnight. Debadeau, more than 7 inches of rain. Pawleys Island, nearly 6. That on top of the 10 you got earlier this month with Hermine. Litchfield Beach, over 3.5 inches, over 2 in Carolina Forest, and near that in Conway. Myrtle Beach at 1.73 and Socastee at 1.32. So here's your forecast as we head through the night. Showers will be winding down, just a few as we head through the overnight hours. Otherwise, mostly cloudy. Our low temperatures near 70 inland and low 70s at the beaches. Still some showers and storms in the forecast for tomorrow, but much brighter and warmer for the weekend. The numbers for you coming up shortly.
Let's go back to the protests happening right now in Charlotte. People are protesting over the deadly police shooting that happened Tuesday afternoon. This is a live look at the scene. Police say the video of the shooting has been released to Keith Scott's family, but will not be given to the public just yet.
That protest tonight in uptown Charlotte has largely been peaceful, much different than the last 2 nights. Last night, a man was shot by another protester, and tonight officials say he has died from his injuries. Right now, the city's mayor hopes that a curfew will help make sure the demonstrations don't turn violent once again.
But as Kimberly King from our sister station WLOS reports, officers and the National Guard are there tonight.
Back up, we want freedom, freedom. Tell these racist ass cops we don't need them.
As dusk turned to dark in Charlotte.
What do you want? Justice. When do you want it? Now.
Their signs express their sentiments. Fear made public as the world watches. 2 peaceful protesters driving 2.5 hours to be here.
You both came from Asheville tonight.
Yes.
Why?
Because it's important that we show up as clergy, as people of faith, wherever injustice is happening.
Amy Cantrell on the left, Terry Forte on the right. Those walking, learning Justin Carr, who was shot in the head last night reportedly by another protester, has died.
It's always sad when a life is lost.
Outside the Omni, where Carr was shot, a peaceful gathering. Words not spoken but simply worn, asking for truth in the case of Carr's death as well as Keith Lamont Scott.
We're not going to know until they release the tapes, until the investigation is done. So I had to come out and find out
just what's going on.
As those marching tonight walked up Tryon Street, officers from Charlotte Police are blocking areas to make sure that those walking the streets stay safe. Police also on bikes following the crowd. At the end of our walk around Uptown, we found ALE agents getting ready also to patrol heavily armed.
Just a standard M4 platform rifle. It's standard for us to deploy when there's a problem like this sometimes.
They say they were close by last night. And did they ask you to come on the ground tonight?
No, we deployed our forces out here tonight.
But tonight in Uptown Charlotte, getting ready to walk the streets.
And the looting and violence in Charlotte's a reminder for people everywhere that your home or business could be a target.
So we wanted to find out, what are your rights in South Carolina to protect yourself and your property? ABC 15's Eddie Kadam talked to a defense attorney and the owner of a local business that was broken into just 2 weeks ago. Eddie?
Tim Stalvey, Bait and Tackle's owner, told me watching the riots unfold in Charlotte, he feels for the businesses and the owners who are now victims. For Ronald Stalvey, police say the culprit at his shop was somebody he knew. The damage just over $4,000. He says it's not just the money to business owners. You lose trust and peace of mind when you become a victim.
It's bad because, I mean, I know how it is. I mean, just a window or a door, I mean, everything costs.
Ronald Stalvey knows how difficult it can be for small businesses to turn a profit.
Little stuff costs, like cartons of cigarettes that got stole out here and TVs. I mean, you know, it adds up. You know, it takes pennies to make dollars, and that's how we make money, but, you know, it's rough. I mean, I can only imagine what they're going through up there right now.
The riots are at businesses to our north in Charlotte, and that has business owners here in the Palmetto State reminding each other they have the right to protect themselves.
Burglary in the second degree, burglary second violent, would be an example of a violent crime. And all you would need for burglary in second, if it happens to be in the nighttime and someone unlawfully enters your business, that makes it burglary second violent. And because of that, they would have the right to use deadly force at that point in time under this statute.
Attorney Michael O'Sullivan says the Protections of Person and Property Act of 2006 allows South Carolinians to use force to protect their homes, places of business, or vehicles.
You are protected in your place of business, especially if someone comes in and is attempting to use deadly force against you. The example you gave was pulling a gun. That certainly will qualify. You would not have a duty to retreat in your own place of business, and you would be justified in using deadly force to combat that.
O'Sullivan says if you can avoid conflict in a situation by getting away, that is always the best option. Just because you may be justified to use deadly force, that doesn't mean you should, and it's something you'll have to live with your entire life. Back to you.
Thanks, Eddie. O'Sullivan says that if someone is entering your business or home under some type of law enforcement orders, you do not have the right to use deadly force.
Governor Nikki Haley has now ordered our state's support if necessary following the violent protests in Charlotte. She spoke with North Carolina Governor Pat McCrory yesterday and today. Haley has also spoken with our state's law enforcement and asked them to keep up with what's going on in Charlotte. U.S. Congressman Robert Pittenger is facing some backlash tonight after the comments he made about the protesters in Charlotte. Pittenger represents the 9th district of the state, which includes parts of Charlotte as well as Robeson and Scotland counties in our area. He appeared on a BBC TV news program today. Here's what he said when asked to describe the grievance of the people protesting.
Well, no, the grievance in their mind is the animus, the anger. They hate white people because white people are successful and they're not. I mean, yes, it is. It is a welfare state. We have spent trillions of dollars on welfare, but we put people in bondage so that they can't be all that they're capable of being.
Within hours of that interview being posted, Pittenger issued a statement with an apology for that comment, said he was simply quoting protesters who'd appeared on TV. Coastal Carolina University students will hold an event tomorrow to show support for the protests taking place in Charlotte. On the Chanticleer News Twitter page, they announced the hashtag #SeeUsDon'tShootUs event will be held at noon. They've also asked all who wish to participate to wear all black.
In our ABC 15 Vote 2016 coverage tonight, Donald Trump campaigned in Pittsburgh today. He made reference to this week's violent protests in Charlotte. Trump is condemning the violent demonstration, saying everyone is suffering from the violence.
Our country looks bad to the world, especially
when we are supposed to be the world's leader? How can we lead when we can't even control our own cities?
Staffers with both campaigns are a bit worried over how the debate on Monday night will go down. A new poll from Quinnipiac University finds Trump is closing the gap on Clinton in 2 battleground states. Researchers say Clinton's lead in Virginia has shrunk to 6 points and 2 in Colorado. If we didn't have computer experts, this year's election would look pretty different.
Elizabeth Hagedorn from our national news partner Circa explains how hackers have changed the game.
Russia, if you're listening, I hope you're able to find the 30,000 emails that are missing.
Whether or not they've done much to change voters' minds, these leaks have changed the conversation. The candidates having to pivot away from policy to talk hacking. There were Colin Powell's leaked emails, which included some rather unflattering criticisms of Trump and Clinton. And there were this summer's DNC document dumps, which were so damaging they forced the party chair to resign. And now WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange is promising an October surprise for Hillary Clinton. Hacking has become a campaign issue in a way previous cyber thievery did not. Back in 2008, hackers, likely from China, tapped into the campaign networks of then Senator Obama and Senator McCain, accessing position papers and emails. 4 years later, there was a similar breach of both Obama's and Mitt Romney's campaigns. But the difference is, those hackers did not leak their findings in an attempt to discredit the candidates and influence the election. Unlike maybe Russia. That's the country most security experts say is behind the hacker persona, Guccifer 2.0.
When I look at the possible Russian involvement in this, I ask myself, who has the means, motive, and opportunity? And Russia certainly fits that bill.
No matter the culprit, we know this to be true.
The most secure email is the one that isn't sent.
For Circa, I'm Elizabeth Hagedorn.
Our mission at WPDE is to connect the presidential candidates to our viewers to better inform and empower you. And we have reached out to the presidential candidates to participate in extended interviews, not only with our station, but our 65 sister stations across the country. And we want to hear from you. Tell us what you want to know from the candidates. What issues are relevant to you? What would you ask Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton? You can share your thoughts with us by email at abc15news@wpde.com or on our Facebook page. We want to give you a voice in this historic and important race for the White House.
Unfortunately, the way that ugly world works, you pay a bribe in 2 manners. You pay that either with money or with your body.
Young pregnant girls crossing the border. How much the government is now spending for health care for these illegal immigrants.
More clown sightings, how some children were able to capture the scary character on camera.
Reuniting the troops, how a soldier brought his military family together from 15 states. Right now, more than 500 children are living in temporary housing at an Army base in El Paso, Texas, at the U.S.-Mexico border.
They're mostly children from Central America, but sometimes when they cross, it's not just one child, it's 2. Doctors are discovering many of the girls crossing are pregnant, some as young as 11. A retired Border Patrol agent says children take the risk, believing that a better life awaits on the other side.
They're kind of treated like a commodity. No, not really a human being. It's like trading some kind of stock. And they're sold from guide to guide, to smuggler to smuggler, to get them from point to certain points.
Over the past 5 years, almost 200,000 children arrived alone. The federal government reports spending $1.3 million in 3 years on health care for pregnant children in the UAC program. That's the Unaccompanied Illegal Immigrant Children program. The Department of Health and Human Services says it provides pregnancy tests to every girl over age 11.
Colonial Pipeline has now restarted the gasoline line in Alabama that was shut down by a major leak this week that caused shortages and higher gas prices in the Carolinas and other states. Company officials say the pipeline reopened last night. The leak was discovered September 9th in Alabama. The company has estimated up to 336,000 gallons of gasoline leaked from the line. Officials say it will take several days for the fuel supplies to return to normal. A new AAA study says that Americans spend an extra $2.1 billion on gas that they don't have to.
You know, if they put premium in their car every once in a while, it's a treat and it kind of cleans everything out. But in this study, we found really there's no benefit to splurging on premium fuel when it's not required by the manufacturer.
That study found no significant improvements in horsepower, fuel economy, or tailpipe emissions in vehicles that filled up with premium gas, even though not required by the manufacturer. If you're looking for a better fuel option for your car, AAA recommends filling up with top-tier gas. That means more additives are infused into the fuel and make it a better quality, and it has been proven to clean engine deposits.
New video tonight. 2 girls in Georgia say a clown tried to chase them down and they caught it on camera. This is Snapchat video of the clown standing right outside the girls' apartment. The girls say it waved a knife at them before running away. This is in Catoosa County. That's in North Georgia near the Tennessee line. Police say they're taking the sighting seriously, but think the clown may just be a kid trying to scare people. Georgia law prohibits anyone from wearing masks to scare people unless it's a holiday like Halloween.
New at 11, 16 veterans from 15 different states reunited tonight in Horry County. It is the 46th year since they have served in Vietnam. Quilts of Valor honored these veterans with a welcome home quilt to thank them for their service.
It's like bringing my family back together. These guys are my brothers. We all faced death together. We had each other's back, and that's what made me feel good.
Randy Schumer says it took him years to get all the guys together.
In an ABC 15 Zika alert, Zika continues to be on the minds of many, especially pregnant women. The March of Dimes Eastern South Carolina chapter is getting several calls each week about the virus. A study from the organization shows more than 60% of Americans are concerned that we'll see a large number of Zika cases in the next year. Right now, the group says they're working to educate people.
The best information that we have is prevention. And like I said, the steps are simple to take, but we just have to make sure that they know what those steps are.
Some ways to avoid mosquito bites are to wear bug spray, protective clothing, and especially with the recent rainy weather, toss out any standing water.
Well, the heavy rainfall is beginning to wind down over parts of Horry County, but more showers and storms are on the way for tomorrow. Then it dries out. We'll have the weekend forecast for you next.
First warning weather with Chief Meteorologist Ed Piotrowski.
All right, welcome back, everyone. We're 22 days into the month, and it's been incredibly wet so far. You probably don't need me to tell you that, right? But we have over 15 inches of rain so far in Myrtle Beach. The normal to date is about 4.76, so 10 inches above normal. Florence has had over 9 inches and Lumberton over 5.5 inches, both above the normal. And obviously, with all the rain that we've had during the course of this day, there's been some flooding as well. And how about the fact that most of this rain, or some of this rain from Hermine, even if we took that out of the mix, we would still be above normal. So it has been a very, very wet month. The showers that have been out there during the course of the afternoon and evening, well, they're finally starting to wind down. We have light to moderate rainfall along Highway 501 from Carolina Forest and Forest Brook all the way up toward Conway and almost to Aner. More rain over interior parts of Horry County, some heavier downpours coming ashore right there at Restaurant Row, and some more rain up here in North Myrtle Beach and Longs. This is not very heavy, though. Meanwhile, as we travel back to the north and west here, we've got some pockets of heavier rain right along I-95. Just south of Lumberton and just north of Dillon. Those are heading westward through southern parts of Robeson and northern parts of Dillon counties as we head through the next hour or so. But overall, the trend will be for lesser showers as we head through the overnight hours. And the reason for the rain, something we've talked about for hours, days, seemingly for weeks, not months, but at least days anyway. Low pressure just lingering right over the South Carolina coast. You can clearly see the circulation right here. And that low pressure pumping moisture in off the Atlantic Ocean, thus the scattered showers. It's finally going to begin moving as we head through tomorrow, ever so slowly, away from our coast, and just in time for the weekend. That's going to mean brighter and drier weather for us. At least a little bit drier tomorrow as well, but there will be showers around. A couple of showers possible in the morning. We may see a few showers even at lunchtime, and then of course in the afternoon, some scattered showers and a few thunderstorms. But as low pressure is beginning to pull away, the best chances may actually be over Horry and Georgetown counties, with lesser chances the farther inland you go. Hopefully those showers will fade away by the time we kick off tomorrow night for high school football. Much drier air will arrive as we head through Friday night, and right now, Saturday looks great. Probably lots of clouds in the morning, then partly sunny as we head through the afternoon. And right now, we don't think we'll have any rain around on Saturday. So high school football, the forecast for tomorrow night, there will be some scattered showers around, but they should be winding down through the evening. Temperatures in the 70s. College football forecast. Obviously, Clemson has already played in one. The Gamecocks in Kentucky, a 7:30 kick on Saturday. The weather looks great there. And for Coastal Carolina, who's home against Furman, a 6 p.m. kickoff, sunshine and 83. All right, your forecast tomorrow morning, mostly cloudy, a few showers, low 70s at 8 a.m. Tomorrow afternoon, inland, mostly cloudy, some scattered showers and a few storms. The high temperatures in the mid-80s. Along the immediate coast, we're expecting mostly cloudy skies, a slightly higher chance for some scattered showers and a few storms here, perhaps some heavy rainfall as well. The highs tomorrow in the low 80s. Your Grand Strand, 7-day forecast. Nice, partly sunny and 84 on Saturday. Only a small chance of a shower on Sunday. A few showers could roll on off the ocean as we head through next week. The highs near 80, overnight lows in the upper 60s. Inland Saturday, a nice day, and it will be fairly hot. Highs in the upper 80s with partly sunny skies. Small chance of a shower storm on Sunday. Few showers, nothing widespread nor heavy through the early and middle part of next week. Inland highs in the low 80s, overnight lows in the mid 60s. Ready for a dry day, even if it is going to be hot Saturday.
All right, thanks, Ed.
Next in sports, Thursday night football had South Florence hosting Darlington. We'll have the highlights.
And highlights as Clemson broke a long drought to Georgia Tech in Atlanta.
ABC 15 Sports with Sports Director Brandon Dunn.
Well, good evening, everyone. Clemson took the field Thursday looking to snap a long losing skid to Georgia Tech in Atlanta. By doing so, the Tigers would send a message to the rest of the conference. Let's head up to Bobby Dodd Stadium. Pick this thing up here in the first quarter of a scoreless game, but I tell you what, the Tigers came out rolling. Deshaun Watson, Mike Williams, welcome back. 4-yard touchdown there. You see the replay, gets both feet in, and the Tigers take an early 7-0 lead. It stays that way here until Wayne Gallman decides to put his head down and collect 6 more. The 1-yard touchdown there puts the Tigers up 14-0, and they were rolling right before the half. Watson, Jordan Leggett, 9 yards, 23-0 Clemson at the break, and the Tigers go on to snap a 5-game losing skid in Atlanta. They win this one tonight going away, 26-7. Louisville up next Saturday night right here on ABC 15. Thursday night football was back in Florence. The Bruins entering the evening on a 2-game winning streak, hosting Darlington, still looking for their first win. Off to Florence Memorial Stadium, South Florence on the opening drive. They're going to give it off to Tony McFadden. He's going to break inside and outside, and he's going to score, and that's some nice running there by that young man. 7-0 Bruins. McFadden with 102 yards on the night. Short time later, South Florence, Austin Moore throwing it the other side. Hakeem White taking it in. 9-yard touchdown hookup makes it 14-0 Bruins. Still on the first, Moore throws a deep ball right into the hands of Rivers Benton, and that young man sees nothing but green grass and a touchdown. 70 yards to the house. This one all South Florence. They roll over Darlington 56-7. They are now 3-2 as Darlington falls to 0-6. The GiveMike-a-Try.com Game of the Week features an old PD rivalry. Top-ranked Dillon will make the trek to Bennettsville to face Dean Boyd and the Bulldogs. The Wildcats haven't lost to a team from South Carolina since 2013. That team was Marlboro County. Bragging rights on the line and momentum heading into region play.
We've got to go out and not make those mistakes and play error-free football and hope that they make some mistakes or force them to make some mistakes.
You know, they've been playing some quality people, and you know, it's a big rivalry game, so you can throw those records out, and then it'll be a knockdown, drag-out.
The top 30 golfers in the world teeing off Thursday at the Tour Championship. Let's head out to Atlanta, show you exactly what happened on day 1 of the action. And 13th hole, Jordan Spieth looking like Ed Piotrowski out of the sand, and oh yeah, just sinks it. I've seen Ed do that. No, not really. He finished at 2 under par 68. How about Dustin Johnson? His approach here, nothing but money for Dustin. Looking for the championship. He's going to go ahead and strike it right next to the pin. Fires a 4 under 66. He is currently tied for the lead after day 1, going into round 2 tomorrow. But Dustin right there in striking distance to win that $10 million bonus.
Wow.
That wouldn't
on
be
top
bad.
of the $8.5 million you win for that tournament, on top of the 9 he's already won this year.
Wow.
And he's married to the Gretzky.
And he's
Yeah.
married to, yeah, he's winning.
Yeah, definitely.
Winning.
Poor guy.
Thanks for
Hashtag.
joining us.
Good night.